Hey guys, we're back with a banger. Go-kart power goes down when the exhausts get full. And we're going to show you 3 ways how to clean your exhaust and get some free horsepower. Go-kart engines use oil in the fuel. So as that oil burns, it leaves carbon deposits and they build up in the exhaust as that hot gas condenses and it leaves a residue behind. Now this residue over time will actually clog up and block the stinger and the pipe to some degree and can cost you horsepower. So we're going to show you how to keep them clean and looking new. So stay tuned to the end of the video. We're going to show you how to make your old crappy pipe look like this. So the biggest power restriction that we've found here on the engine dyno is when this stinger, or the end of the pipe, gets the most carbon buildup. Now the holes in the end of the stinger are the smallest, and the quickest and easiest way to open them up for the biggest bang for your buck is to use a drill bit and a battery drill. This one here is a 17mm, or 16.5, so it won't actually remove any steel because there is a regulation here that you can't drill these out to a bigger size. But this drill won't remove any metal, it just removes all the carbon. So you just insert it into the end of the pipe. As you can see, all the carbon falls out of the stinger. And that's the biggest flow restriction, that's back here in the pipe. I'm going to show you when I take a stinger off, exactly how to take them off so that you can clean them later on. And you'll see the stinger and the restriction in there. Also too, here on the exit of the pipe, you can see there's a bit of build up there. Now that is a bigger diameter and you can, in a pickle, you could scratch that off here just using a razor blade. And you can see how much carbon has built up on that. Now this is a dyno running in pipe, so it's way worse than most pipes that you're going to come across. But hey, I've seen this at the track too, when the engine doesn't sound like it's going any good, or it's, you know, there's no tinniness to the engine, to the tune. Check the pipe. If it's been ages since you've cleaned it, there's a good chance you filled it up full of carbon and wrecked some of the performance of the engine. So using a battery drill and a drill bit is the easiest and quickest way just to clean the stinger out if you get stuck at the track. So a better way to clean the exhaust is using fire. You can build a fire pit, but in our case, we don't have that here, but we do have gas. These plumbing gas bottles are super handy. They're not expensive. You can get them from your local hardware store and they've got 1,001 uses, but today we're going to show you how to use it on the exhaust pipe. Okay guys, I've got a safety tip for you. If you are going to use gas, obviously it's hot work, so some gloves, some safety glasses, and also too, there's going to be a lot of fumes. When you get this guy red hot, the oil starts to burn, and that's good because you're trying to get the burnt on carbon out of the pipe. But as it starts to burn, it's going to release a lot of toxic fumes. So do this outside or a really well ventilated area. I'm going to give you a quick demonstration and you'll see some of the smoke coming out of here. But if you just keep heating this pipe up with the gas, eventually it'll all catch fire in a controlled way, and then you can just tap the pipe and knock the ash out of the pipe, and then you'll be good to go. Okay, so now we've got all our safety equipment on, we can start to heat up the pipe. Now, like I said, this is going to create a lot of smoke, so we're just going to give you a small demonstration. Now, as the pipe heats up, the inside, the carbon is going to start to burn and turn to ash, and then we're going to be able to tap it out onto the bench. So when it comes to cleaning exhaust pipes, using the gas method is not ideal. Obviously, it's releasing a lot of gas. If you had it outdoors, like an outdoor fire in your backyard, you could sit the pipe in there and let it burn away slowly, and the fumes would go away with the fire. But here in the factory, obviously, it's pretty toxic. But if you get that pipe cherry red, that carbon's going to start to burn off inside, and then you can just tap it all out or use a like a pipe cleaner or something to get most of that carbon out of the pipe. So the third method is to use caustic soda. You mix this with water and dip the pipe down into it, and over 24 or 48 hours, the caustic soda is going to eat up all the oil and you're going to pull out the pipe and it's going to look brand new. The first thing I would do before I soak the pipe down in the caustic soda is actually removing the stinger first, so that when you put it down, all the sludge can just fall out nice and easy. And also you can soak the stinger by itself. Now we've done that overnight, so I can show you that in a minute. But first I want to show you how to remove the stinger itself. On the end of the stinger, there's 3 Phillips screws. We're just going to take all those out first. And then using a hammer and an old screwdriver, we're just going to tap the stinger off the end of the pipe. And to do that, you just give it a couple of wraps like this. And slowly work your way around the perimeter. As you can see, this is our dyno running in pipe and how much carbon actually builds up in the exhaust pipe. And this, when this little hole here starts to close over, that's when you get the biggest loss in horsepower. So just opening that up is stage one. Then obviously stage 2 or stage 3 is either using the fire to burn it out or using caustic soda to eat up all the old carbon out of the pipe. If you get a look down in there, you can sort of see how much the gas can still flow through your pipe out of here, but there is definitely a flow restriction. So when you're mixing up your caustic soda, obviously it's pretty harmful to your skin and dangerous for your eyes. So wear some safety glasses and some gloves. Now this is the stinger I removed yesterday and I've let it sit overnight. Water, container, caustic soda. It's got directions on there. So we're going to pull this guy out and give it a little shake to get rid of any loose material. And you can sort of see how much carbon has built up here in the end of the pipe. But it's now very, very soft and we can just remove it with an old screwdriver. And this is the flow restriction I was talking about that's costing you your performance on the track. So if you're out on the track and your engine sounds like it's really flat, especially down at the top of the straight where the airspeed and the RPM is the highest, double check your exhaust pipe is not blocked. If you're at the track, use the drill method or a screwdriver or something sharp. And then during the week, if you've got time, soak your exhausts out in some caustic soda and just melt out the old carbon. And then you can brush it out, hose it out, scratch it out, and make that exhaust just like new. Now look at that. It is without restriction. It's nearly back to bare metal. And if you look at the inside, this is where we get the most of the buildup. This is down inside the pipe. And this diameter of the pipe starts to close up. And that's where it's going to cost you horsepower. So keep these ones clean. Once you've cleaned both the stinger and the pipe, you can put them back together. Just like so. Reinstall your screws. Now don't forget to use Loctite because these little guys are only self-tapping screws and they do come loose. Tap your pipe on, put your screws in, and you're ready to hit the track. Like I said earlier in the video, if you want to keep your pipes looking like a brand new pipe, because once you've soaked them, the metal will go back to bare steel, use lanolin. This is the best stuff I've found, Lanox or Inox with lanolin, and it's a spray-on. You can get any of the lanolin products. Put that on the steel and it's going to keep it looking brand new. Also works on your go-kart axles. So shout out to Paul Leo for that one. If you made it this far through the video, thank you so much for tuning in. That's how you keep your exhaust pipes clean for free horsepower. See you in the next video.